This is a story about an extraordinary friendship between our beloved dog Alba and our daughter Nenah.
I love you more than everything.
It's a beautiful reminder that animals aren't just pets, they become family. Sometimes the bond they create with us changes our lives forever. When my husband and I brought our newborn daughter home for the first time, I was anxious about how Alba would react. She had always been our center of attention, our little queen. Our world revolved around her, and she basked in every bit of love we gave. But when baby Nenah arrived, everything changed. To my surprise, Alba's reaction was not jealousy or confusion. Instead, she welcomed Nenah with quiet wonder. From the moment she saw that tiny bundle in my arms, something shifted. Her ears perked up and her eyes sparkled with curiosity. She slowly stepped closer, gently sniffing the air around Nenah, as if memorizing her scent. Despite her excitement, Alba was unbelievably gentle. Even when Nenah cried, Alba wouldn't leave her side. She'd sit nearby, calm and protective, almost as if she instinctively knew that her presence brought comfort. In those first few days, we still worried. Would Alba feel left out? After all, she had been our only child until now. But instead of showing any jealousy, she quietly lay by Nenah's crib, watching her sleep. Sometimes she would bring her toys, carefully placing them beside the baby as if to offer her the very best she had. I joked with my friends, forget babysitters, get your kid a dog. As the weeks passed, their bond grew deeper. Once Nenah started crawling, she followed Alba everywhere. They played games of hide and seek, running from room to room while we laughed at their joyful chaos. But what truly showed the depth of their connection was this. Nenah's very first word wasn't mama or dada, it was Alba, repeated with joy again and again. That was the moment I realized Alba wasn't just a pet, she was a friend, a guardian, a sister. People often stop to watch them together and say, "That's the sweetest thing I've ever seen," and I have to agree. Having Alba in Nenah's life is a gift. Studies show that growing up with animals teaches children compassion and responsibility, and I see that every day. Nenah helps feed Alba, pours her water, and strokes her fur with clumsy but loving hands. Their bond isn't just about care, it's about love, a love that deepens with every moment they share. Some of my favorite scenes are the quiet, everyday ones. Nenah curled up beside Alba on the floor, or trying to brush her fur, while Alba patiently waits, tail wagging. These simple moments remind me how lucky we are to witness this kind of love. I truly believe this bond will last a lifetime. Watching them grow together fills my heart with joy. It's a rare kind of magic.
This is the story of an extraordinary friendship between a giant dog named Rex and a little boy named Samuel. Every time I walk into the room, I find them together. Samuel sitting beside Rex, climbing onto his back, playing with his soft fur, and even checking Rex's teeth as if he were a little doctor. What amazes me most is how gently Rex allows him to do all this, calmly accepting every touch with patience and love. There are moments when I watch them and can't hold back my tears. Their bond is so pure, so touching. Samuel has brought a whole new world of joy into Rex's life. We first brought Rex home 6 years ago as a fluffy puppy. From the very first day, we fell in love with him, and he quickly became the heart of our family. So when Samuel was born, a thought crossed my mind. What if they don't bond? When we placed Samuel's carrier on the floor, Rex approached cautiously. For a moment, he just sat there, unsure. But then he leaned forward, sniffed Samuel gently, and wagged his tail with joy. It was as if he had been waiting for his little brother all along. From that moment on, they were inseparable. Rex would lie beside Samuel's crib, keeping watch like a guardian. When Samuel learned to walk, Rex followed closely behind, making sure no harm ever came his way. They built castles with toy blocks, climbed onto couches together, and even turned mealtimes into little celebrations filled with laughter. As the years passed, their friendship only grew stronger. Rex kisses Samuel, lets him tug at his ears, and patiently accepts every bit of affection. And Samuel, in turn, treats Rex not just as a pet, but as his very best friend. Today, their bond is deeper than companionship. It's a story of loyalty, care, and love. Watching them grow up side by side, I know Samuel is not just gaining memories, but also learning the true meaning of friendship. Their story is only beginning, and I can't wait to see the chapters still to come. I am endlessly grateful that Rex and Samuel found each other, and that my son will grow up with such a devoted, loving friend by his side.
This is a story about friendship, the kind that begins even before a single word is spoken. It's about two golden retrievers, Winston and Doug, and the extraordinary love they share with a little girl named Miller. From the moment Miller arrived home, Winston and Doug instinctively understood something had changed. But there was no confusion or jealousy in their eyes, only warmth, devotion, and an overwhelming sense of love. They didn't just accept Miller, they cherished her. It was as if they knew, deep down, that this tiny human had become the center of their universe. They watched over her with a gentleness that words can't quite capture. Somehow, they knew she was fragile, that she needed care. Not a single toy of hers was ever torn apart. Not one squeaky sound dared to break their calm when she was near. And Doug, who used to guard his favorite donut-shaped toy like treasure, began placing it gently beside Miller, a silent gesture that said, "This is for you. My most precious thing is now yours." Winston, always eager to help, became her soft protector, curled around her like a living blanket, his paws tucked under her as if shielding her from the world. When Miller began crawling, she crawled toward them, and when she began to speak, her very first word wasn't mama or dada, it was dog. Each day began with joy. As morning light filled the room, Winston and Doug would be the first to poke their noses into her nursery, gently nudging her pillows as if to ask, "Are you awake yet? We've got another beautiful day to share." And every time, Miller's face would light up with laughter and delight, clapping her tiny hands in excitement. Watching them together was like witnessing a quiet miracle, something honest and pure unfolding. As Miller grew, so did their bond. She learned to take her first steps holding on to their fur. They stood by her side, patient and still, never once pulling away. When she napped, Doug would lie silently at her door, while Winston rested at the foot of her crib, as if guarding not just her body, but her dreams too. In those moments, the house wasn't filled with noise, but with the silence of love, a silence so deep and warm that no words were needed. They weren't just pets, they were her first friends, her protectors, her golden angels. This story reminds us that animals feel deeply. They love, they understand, and they give without expecting anything in return. For those with the smallest hearts, dogs can become the most loyal companions, and sometimes their very first heroes. If this story of Miller, Doug, and Winston touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe to HeartTail Diaries for more beautiful stories about the bonds that make life so special.